Corpus Christi has long been a source of both wonder and deep reflection. Its origins, shrouded in mystery and steeped in miracles, have been passed down through generations, though few truly grasp the full measure of its meaning. Today, we delve into a story that reawakens the ancient echoes of faith and divinity. In the year 1263, a priest named Peter, troubled by doubts about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, began a journey in search of certainty. Living in Prague, his heart was heavy with questions that no sermon or scholarly treatise could soothe. With hope as his only companion, he set forth on a pilgrimage toward Rome, a destination many believed was imbued with divine grace. Along his route, Peter arrived in the town of Balena, a place renowned not only for its deep religious traditions, but also for its heartfelt devotion to St. Christina. St. Christina, a convert from pagan roots, had embraced Christianity with unwavering resolve, defying the objections of her influential father. Her decision incited a series of dramatic events. In a bid to force her to abandon her newfound faith, her father subjected her to relentless torment. The final attempt to extinguish her spirit came when he fastened a heavy stone to her and hurled her into the sacred lake of Balena. Yet against all natural expectation, the stone did not sink. Instead, it floated serenely on the water, carrying St. Christina safely and leaving behind unmistakable footprints on its surface. A miraculous testimony of divine intervention. These footprints became treasured relics, cherished by the faithful as tangible evidence of heavenly protection. In the wake of this miracle, the people of Balena found their hearts stirred to renewed devotion. Moved by the extraordinary events surrounding St. Christina, Peter decided to conduct a mass in her honor, hoping to find solace and reassurance in the ritual. During the consecration of the host, an astonishing event unfolded. The consecrated host began to bleed. The sight of blood staining his hands and the altar cloth, known as the corporal, filled Peter with an overwhelming mix of awe and relief. The miraculous phenomenon silenced his doubts, yet the intensity of the experience prevented him from completing the Mass as usual. With a heart full of gratitude and a soul alight with renewed conviction, he set the bleeding host aside, mindful that every drop was a sign of the divine. Determined to share this miraculous occurrence with the wider church, Peter journeyed to Orvieto, where Pope Urban IV was residing. Before the pontiff, Peter detailed every aspect of that day, from his inner turmoil and the sacred Mass in Balena to the undeniable evidence of Christ's presence manifested in the bleeding host. The Pope, deeply moved, recalled the mystical visions of St. Juliana of Lee. As a young nun, Juliana had experienced visions that foretold the need for a celebration dedicated solely to the Eucharist. One vision, in particular, featured a luminous white disc marred by a solitary dark spot, a symbolic image that after years of contemplation came to represent the Church's boundless devotion to the Eucharist, alongside the sorrow of a missing feast that truly celebrated its glory. Embracing Peter's account as a confirmation of Juliana's divine revelations, Pope Urban IV recognized that the miracle was a sign heralding the establishment of a new liturgical celebration. To verify the authenticity of the event, he summoned a cadre of esteemed theologians, including St. Thomas Aquinas and St. Bonaventure, who were revered not only for their scholarly insight, but also for their profound spirituality. They meticulously examined the relics, the blood-stained corporal and the stone bearing St. Christina's sacred footprints, while gathering accounts from those who had witnessed the miracle. Their investigation left little room for doubt, and soon the truth of the miraculous event shone forth like a beacon of divine light. The verified miracle inspired an extensive procession. Led by the theologians and joined by scores of devoted pilgrims, the sacred relics were carried back to Orvieto. As they advanced through the streets, the atmosphere became charged with a palpable sense of unity and reverence. At a bridge where the procession converged with the Pope's retinue, Pope Urban IV emerged, garbed in his full pontifical regalia, and knelt before the sacred relics. In that humbling moment, he accepted the blood-stained corporal and the consecrated host, acknowledging them as undeniable proof of the miraculous presence of Christ. This act of worship marked the inauguration of what would become the first Eucharistic procession, a ritual that continues to be the heart and soul of Corpus Christi celebrations. Emboldened by the miracle and its clear message of divine truth, Pope Urban IV issued the bull Transitus in 1264. In his decree, he established a solemn feast dedicated to the Eucharist. This new celebration was intended to reaffirm the belief in the real presence of Christ within the Blessed Sacrament at a time when heretical views sought to undermine this mystery. The bull also summoned the wisdom of the era's foremost theologians to create hymns and prayers that would capture the spiritual magnitude of the feast. St. Thomas Aquinas, among others, composed a hymn so stirring and profound that the other theologians set aside their own efforts in deference to its unmatched beauty and theological depth. His composition, celebrated for its lyrical power, became the official anthem of Corpus Christi, its verses echoing the eternal mystery and the sacred joy of the Eucharist. The inaugural celebration of Corpus Christi resonated deeply within the hearts of the faithful. The procession through Orvieto, the solemn acceptance of the relics by Pope Urban IV, and the rapturous hymns all coalesced into a moment of transcendent devotion. In the wake of this divine revelation, plans were set in motion to construct a magnificent cathedral in Orvieto, a sanctuary designed to house the cherished relics, particularly the blood-stained corporal, and to serve as a perpetual reminder of the miracle. The cathedral, a masterpiece of Italian Gothic architecture, would stand as a monument to centuries of Eucharistic devotion and as a beacon of faith for generations to come. Even now, the legacy of that miraculous day continues to illuminate the path of countless believers. Corpus Christi is more than a feast. It is a celebration of a mystery that transforms doubt into certainty, despair into hope, and uncertainty into a steadfast belief in the presence of the divine. Though not every tradition embraces this celebration, the underlying message remains universal, a call to seek and honor the sacred, to uphold the principles of love, compassion, and mutual respect. In a world marked by diverse beliefs and myriad interpretations, the story of Corpus Christi invites us all to look beyond differences and to cherish the eternal bonds of faith that unite us. Thank you for journeying through this profound exploration of our shared heritage. May the legacy of this miracle inspire you to pursue a deeper understanding of the mysteries that bind our hearts in faith.